Revenge of the Cambien. A Cambien is a term used for children who are born to an incubus and a succubus. The incubus is the male erotically driven entity and the succubus is the female erotically driven entity. To understand how these sex demons operate, one has to know the realm known as Gamaliel, which is the vampire dimension. Ashtaroth is a gatekeeper there, but the lead goddess is Lilith, the queen demoness. Why this is relevant is because Gamaliel landed on us. Just like Malcolm X said, we didn't land on Plymouth Rock. Plymouth Rock landed on us. Well, we didn't land on Gamaliel. Gamaliel landed on us. Now, evidence of this are the many talks about energy and spirituality that you hear, rather than divinity and righteousness. See, a term like divinity has been relegated to gender, i.e. divine masculine, divine feminine. But true divinity, which is otherworldly virtue, goes mainly unmentioned. So we are in the midst of an energy war. They have recordings of former Enron employees in the early 2000s. They laughing and saying, we're going to be trading weather. We're going to be trading energy. And essentially, that's what they did. Although Enron fell, people's energies are being traded on the market every day, and online and offline. We all place our energy online and offline. So for the online people, social media sphere, whether we are content creators or content consumers, we're being fed into Gamaliel. We went from reading scrolls to scrolling up and down on digital screens. That means we're in another dimension, ladies and gentlemen. And this dimension is Gamaliel. So we're in the realm of vampires, but instead of draining blood, they're draining mental energy. They're draining chi. They're draining spirit. Vampires come in all shapes and sizes and from all walks of life or walks of death, because there are just as many paths to death as there are paths to life. And vampires typically bite the throat. This is what you see in horror cinema, right? So the battle over censorship is like being at risk for neck bites. This is why Wu-Tang Clan dropped the song 30 years early, protect your neck. That's the rule. Protect your neck, protect your throat chakra, protect your voice. An example of a spiritual neck bite goes like this. So you have a friend who does nothing but complain, and you in turn become an incessant complainer also. That's a neck bite. That's an attack on your throat chakra. That's an attack on your voice. Energy vampirism. This has two extremes, the saucy and the sorry. Energy vampirism has two extremes, the saucy and the sorry. The saucy deals with seduction and the over-sexualization of the human soul, causing the human to lose life force, wasting it on physicality rather than material and spiritual productivity. So don't be fooled by just what the movies show. There's a deeper meaning. Vampires can order everything with garlic in it off the Olive Garden menu and be just fine. Yeah, vampires can come outside at high noon on the 90-degree day with no clouds and be just fine too. So it's not sunlight that keeps a vampire away, but sunlight that keeps a vampire away. SUN light does nothing for a vampire, does nothing to a vampire, but SON light destroys vampirism. Now let's look at garlic. Garlic is used to purify the blood. So if your life force is pure, which is to say your life's desire having a harmless aim, a vampire will be kept at bay. And that's how you handle the saucy end of Gamaliel. Now for the sorry realm. The sorry end of the pole is just as dangerous as the saucy realm. The sorry realm is connected to mental illness and suicide. The saucy, they seek to destroy others. But the sorry, they seek to destroy themselves. It's better to be satisfied than sorry. Better to be psyched up than saucy. For those who want to play ostrich and stick their heads in the sand waiting on Jesus to save them, they have to start all over from Genesis, which is gene assist. They have to give their genetics the proper assistance and read the whole Bible over again with an upgraded understanding. Now, for the Bible thumpers who never take time to read the scriptures they swear by, you in the way. And natural evolution is in the process of eliminating you. Now, in this realm, any true vampire slayer has to be Buffy, right? Buffy, the vampire slayer. Buffy or buffness means muscle mass and strength. So if you're weak mentally and spiritually, you are not yet a vampire slayer. If you are weak, you are not yet a vampire slayer. So When these vampires find you, they're going to drain you of all your inspiration and hope. And from there, you'll descend into an even lower level of hell where zombies exist, because that's what you'll be reduced to, friends. Beware of the tune-outs. Beware of those who cannot multitask. Beware of those who are zoned out. Beware of those who are hypersexual and hypersensitive, because all that hype is their life, and that's being drained dry. You can pray, you can pray, pray all you want, but without wisdom, you will be considered prey, pray. Another problem we're running into too is the Dracula syndrome. The Dracula syndrome is older, energetic vampires. See, it's not just the Gen Zs who have vampires in their ranks. No, it's the millennials, the baby boomers, and the boomers who also have vampires in their ranks. And you can't teach an old dog new tricks. So if they dismiss you, then you must dismiss them. You got to get away from these people at all costs. It's better to be homeless than housed with a vampire. This is why Proverbs says it's better for a man to live in the middle of a desert or the corner of an attic than to live in a palace with a contentious spouse. You got to get away from these people, y'all. They might be smart, they might be attractive, but they're going to destroy you, whether they know it or not. And lastly, what about vampires turning into bats? Well, you understand flying creatures are carriers of information. That is their representation. That's their symbology. Bats are known to be daylight blind. So vampires don't intuitively understand spiritual light. You get that? Bats also sleep hanging upside down. So a vampire's point of view is upside down. And there's only one way to conquer the vampire realm, and it's to shed your life force. That's right. If your chi is high enough, you can get all these vampires drunk off your energy. This is not for misers. This is for masters. People with no self-control, this part is not for you. But for those of us who are really winning the battle against our flesh daily, you have to be the bread of life. You have to be the wine of life. And eventually, any vampire will be returned to their natural human state. But if you show signs of wear and tear, you're out of there. If you show signs of wear and tear, you're out of there. So there's your exit off the planet. From Gamaliel to your bathroom, passing back through your mirror, back onto your sink mat, to take a long, honest look at yourself and check your teeth for fangs. This is Super T Sigma with another Sigma program to correct and reset souls who dwell on the land. I'm out. Peace.